Alrighty, today is the day of our short story test. So before you get started, I just kind of want to walk you through it. That way you know how to access it and how to actually type and answer on the test. So you'll find the test in our Google Classroom under the Classwork tab. It will show up under today's date. If you don't see it yet, it is because you're watching this video just a little bit early. The test will pop up during our class period and it will close at the end of our class period. So you have about 70 minutes to take this test. Again, 70 minutes. So use that time wisely. The test will close at the end of the period, so you will have to submit it before then. However, when it is time to take the test, it will pop up here, and when you click on it, this should load up. When you get to this page, you will see the very first thing, which is page 1, and that is a disclaimer about the test. First things first, you can double tap here to type your name, and then we can go ahead and take a look at the rest of this page. Do not delete this page, by the way. It lets you know that this test is composed of analyzing and short response questions. It gives a little quick disclaimer as well. If plagiarism is detected, meaning you are cheating or you're copying and using somebody else's work, your test can result in a 0. When you submit this test through Google Classroom, it will automatically be checked for plagiarism. So if it flags your test will result in a 0 and you cannot make it up. Additionally, there's only a few resources you can use during this test. I will let you know what those are during class. So if you have some other resource out, such as a second device or your phone, or any other resource that is not approved, your test can also result in a 0. So keep that in mind as well. There's also a little note about other assignments which are due today, so do not forget to do that as well. Make sure you're turning those in through Google Classroom. All right, when you're ready to take the test, you'll just scroll and it will let you know what page you are on, both at the bottom of the page and on the sidebar. The test does actually start on page 2. For each section, you will see that the test is broken up in between 3 different texts. They are all stories we read in class. There is a passage for each story and a set of questions to go along with it, which will look like this. So some questions are all about analyzing the passage above, and some are answering a short response based on the passage above. So let's talk about these analyzing ones. When you're ready to answer these questions on this digital test, you'll use this passage. So if, for instance, it's asking you to find a example of man versus man conflict, you'd go back to the passage, and search for one. When you think you see one, you can actually highlight it, and you can use this highlight tool at the very top. And you can pick a color. Let's pretend we want green. And when you think that is the right conflict, you would go down to your test as well and make that same color. That way you're letting me know when it's time to grade that that is what you think the man versus man conflict is. You might see multiple cases of man versus man conflict or the other options. Just go ahead and pick one, okay? When you pick your second answer, like man versus nature, make it a different color. That way you can go ahead and find another answer and change the color. That way I know that that is man versus nature. Also, be careful not to delete any of the text either in the question or in the passage. If you do so, you'll probably have to start over and make a new copy of the test. I cannot update it for you, so keep that in mind. Be extra careful. If you want to unhighlight something, you can just highlight it again with your cursor and just click none. Cool. And for your short response questions, of course, you will read the question it's asking, and you can use that passage as evidence. When you're ready to answer that, you can type directly into the box. Use a legible font such as Times New Roman. It does automatically italicize it. I'm not sure why. You can just click that off. If you want to make the text smaller, that's fine. If you want to make the box bigger, it will actually grow bigger as you type. When you are done, make sure you're submitting it to Google Classroom, but make sure you're answering all the questions carefully. Don't miss anything. And again, do not delete anything off of the test. If you delete a question or one of your answers, there's nothing I can do. You will get that question wrong. And if you answer a question twice, like maybe you make all of these red and they're all red up here, they are going to get marked wrong because I cannot tell which of the answers you're trying to show to me. But good luck. Don't forget to submit it before you're done, and it will close at the end of the class period.